Jeez, baby! Battle of the Nuclei, Atomic versus Atomic. And guys, at home, look, I know it's gonna be a little confusing, and I know you think it's our job to tell you exactly which Atomic it is, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, that's on you.
Yeah, it's gonna get confusing. It's gonna be difficult. G2 against G1, Atomic up against Atomic. And my goodness, we've got a great series ahead of us, Jorby. Question is, what are we gonna get from both sides? A lot of storylines crossing paths here, and immediately we're getting some G2 offense.
I think G1 surprised lots of people taking down FaZe Clan, and big part of that was marked by 8. And how about Dorito picking up the save? How about marked by 8? Cleaning that one right up, and those two players in particular, Turtle, really impressed me against
Marked by 8 in particular, I love what he does off the ball. I think his rotations are some of the most interesting out of anybody from Europe, and the decisions he makes on when to cut rotation, when to get aggressive, when to steal boost like that in the midfield, and then go up for a challenge, blocking out G2 right now, trying to hold them and get a grip on this possession game. I think Marked by 8 definitely made an impact and was one of the main reasons why they're able to close it out. And they were talking about it on the desk, who got the better warm-up. Of course, G1 definitely got a full series, but G2, a clean sweep against Crew. I don't think we can discredit that. And that's certainly something to pay attention to, and here comes a shot from Chicago in the corner.
A lot of shots from G2 early on. Not bad shots by any means. That one was nicely saved. Dorito made a really great stop earlier as well. G1, a couple of pressure opportunities. They've been really aggressive when they get to the blue half. That's how they like to play. Nothing really developing here for G2 right now. And right there, 50 out to the corner. Doritos right there, nowhere for G2 to go.
Yeah, it's all about reading the play, understanding how that challenge was going to play out from JNaps. But things have settled down. We got a lot of firepower from G2 in the first 30 seconds. Continuous shots. Big dunk from JNaps almost goes his way. But nothing yet. A bit of crickets on both sides. Still waiting to find the execution.
Chicago can't pull that ball away from Dorito. Dorito tried to be quick. There's a lot of space between him and the ball. Knew he had to rush that progression, but now 3-man attack from G2. Everybody just pushing forward from G2 there. They cut off the corner, but the 50 game from G1. G2 can't put high pressure opportunities too often, and Atomic will find the first goal.
You can't put high pressure if you're losing the 50-50s, but as long as somebody can recover and get there in time, and that is G2. They didn't get the challenge game, they didn't win it, but they had somebody to recover and push immediately after off the backboard, and G2 strike first.
Catching two defenders on G1, split too far against the post. Might get it back here. They can start building some pressure. That was a good initial shot from Mark. It's all about just hanging on to possession. You can give a little, but you don't want to give too much. Dorito, nice catch and pass, but Mark had to stretch.
You like what Dorito's looking for out of that corner. Demo on the play. Atomic does spawn in the corner. Chicago looking for the flip reset. It sets up JNaps, who's slightly off his target. But nonetheless, they keep the pressure. And it did look good, Jorby, for just a split second.
G1's net is just looking spooky. Every time G2 get a touch on Orange, I mean, they're putting that ball off the bar, close to the post.
What a read.
It could have 2 or even 3 on the board with a couple of chances that they had. The shots are not forthcoming for G1.
We're getting some fantastic patience and reads out of G2 in the midfield. I mean, I just saw Chicago go up for a pre-jump. Atomic's now taking this to the left side of the wall. He's got so much space. Dorito comes in with a late challenge, but it's not in time, and you're giving away free shots, forcing G1 Atomic on the goal line. Get up early, and now they don't have any boost. They're getting demoed. G2 running laps around this defense.
Mark picked up that canister in the corner, but they keep getting demoed on the back line. G2 Atomic taking one out. Now Chicago off the ceiling. It's just more pressure. Atomic pressing. And another free touch for JNaps. Mark puts it to the side. The way things have been going, Turtle, I mean, a second goal might put game 1 away.
Well, and if you watch that series from G2 against Crew, they were a low-scoring series, excuse me. Every single game was just a 1-goal game. G2 are comfortable in this spot, letting the time run down.
Conversely, G1 multiple multi-goal wins against FaZe, but they're having struggles staying in the blue half, and that's credit to G2's defense. JNAP's trying to swing one player off. Mark actually set up a nice 50 downfield. He just doesn't have a boost to chase.
No boost in the tank. Can't get in front of it. 30 seconds remaining. G1 have been scoreless. They've got to make a move. This could be it. Good momentum building downside, but their efforts not going to be rewarded. G2 got to hold on.
They're going to need, G1 need a quick transition at the end here, but they lost the ball to Atomic, and he gets his second goal to steal game one.
There was an accurate shot. I think this one was off the crossbar potentially, but that last man back from G1 couldn't catch up in time. Marked by 8, tried his best to squeeze it out, get the pinch, but security, the safety net has been rewarded to G2. A solid game one, no mistakes, and nothing given to G1.
It was very aggressive push in the corner. They had to be aggressive, but G2, very methodical victory. That was a G2 win if I've ever seen one. I just want to give a little hope, a little copium to the G1.
Okay.
Hopium, I guess, if you will.
Hopium.
Here's Mark by 8's record against NA teams on you. He's 5-3. All right. Here's G2's record against EU teams. 5-8.
Okay.
That's all I got for you guys. That's all.
You're hitting us with the NAU.
But right now, though, G2, I mean, they're just playing a rock-solid, fundamental game of Rocket League, and they don't give G2 any chance. Only 3 shots on net.
It really feels like they are reading the game so much better. Every single 50-50, every single challenge, and even at the beginning, I mean, you mentioned it yourself, G1 were winning most of those 50-50s, most of those challenges, but I found G2's rotation and recovery, even if they lost a challenge, they'd always have somebody else, that second man, maybe the third man, following through, taking the ball into space, and they would waste time for their teammates to go back, and it was flawless. I barely saw any laps in rotation. That's the perfect play for G2, and something that we already saw against Crew. This is comfortable for them. They're okay with these close games, Jorby.
Well, I mean, I was going to say, it almost felt like a carbon copy from what happened against Crew. You know, Crew had, well, there you go. G1 did that first goal. Atomic puts it in. Only Atomics have scored so far, by the way.
let's keep the trend going. Marked by 8. Getting a bit annoying on that last man back, disrupting the play, allowing for G1 to quickly break the curse.
Need a little bit of that Dorito magic that he had against FaZe. Marked by 8 was just the finisher.
Yeah.
I mean, well-placed shots, but it doesn't matter if your shots are well-placed if you can't find any. They get their first one here. JNAP's trying to slow down G1, and more than successful. Mark is just forced to turn around. Chicago even far away. Everyone out on the rotation, and G1 lucky that's not in.
JNAPS was looking for that top left corner, just inches off from hitting the snipe. Could have been a deadly response, but unfortunately we're not going to see that shot go in. Would have been pretty, a highlight reel, but back down the other end we go. Atomic is looking for something quick. Counterattack. Dorito is wide open, but can't get the read. It was a difficult angle. The ball was right above him. And sometimes in that situation, ball cam can really throw you off, Jorby.
It's a tight read. You know you got to make it quickly. Couldn't just find the touch. Slow down a little bit. G1 try to regain their bearings on defense. Mark full tank of boost, but Carry uses everything just to get the transition. Now it's about maintaining this pressure. JNAP's harassing Atomic. He's forced to leave. And G1, despite being on offense, they're having to dive for those balls as the second and third man back beyond the midfield line. And even though they get down here, G2's still getting every touch.
And they're also getting a couple of demos, actually. That one was from Mark by 8 as a pass attempt comes across. Atomic looking to connect far side. No shot does come out on target, but it did look good, promising for G2, but they're dealing with pressure immediately after.
Another ball in front that JNAPS cuts out. Now Atomic gets a chance.
Flip reset.
Flip reset, pumper, but a little too far to the side. G1 just trying to get back to the ball, and Dorito successful. Let's see what G1 have here. Atomic hard touch on the back wall. Dorito keeps it going. Chicago avoids the bump. Mark keeps it in the way. Atomic back in the corner against JNAPS. Perfect catch from JNAPS.
I mean, look at the patience too. I mean, he kept it to himself, off the ceiling, drove it to the sidewall. It's exactly what you can expect from the veteran JNAPS. Now the former Winter Major champs, G2. What else do they have? Their backs are now against the wall as we approach halftime. It's up to them to fight back and get a response.
Great job from G1. Great back pass from Dorito as well. Won the initial 50. Chicago went to cover the threat along the back wall. Dorito recognizing it, throws it right back,
Quick
but
touch.
G2 wins through the smoke. And Atomic again. All goals scored so far still by Atomic.
It's all about the recognition here, Jorby. Atomic knows that Dorito's the last man back. He could have gone for a dribble, tried to force a better 50, or even gone for a pass, but he knew that net was wide open. G2 Atomic tying things up. The battle of the Gs, the battle of Atomics, and we're getting a show.
It's been mostly a defensive show, but Dorito high in the air. He's died down for now. Mark just trying to force G2 to get up the ball. Now Atomic's got it. Lost it the last second, gets the demo. Chicago
Got full boost.
cleans it up. Does he have a
Head.
transition? Yes, but Dorito got there in time.
You see what JNAP's looking for. Just some kind of a dunk. Drops that first touch off and hopes to get a better challenge afterwards, but we are stuck in the midfield.
Oh.
Early shot, but Chicago had it read. Nice rotations. I have noticed G2 are a little bit on top of each other, but it hasn't plagued them yet.
They have to be. The challenges are coming quickly.
Yeah.
When G1 are behind the balls, your second man has to be constantly aware of where that follow-up man on the other team is. And I think both teams have actually executed well in that department.
Yeah.
Why it's been this game in particular.
Well, in those close rotations, Jorby, it's such a risky thing to opt in for.
Yeah.
Because you can easily go in for a double commit. So I'm amazed that we haven't seen too much of that yet from either sides, but a quick
Mark.
pass out from Dorito. Mark has so much time to prep for that shot. Looked for the top corner, but it's saved.
Atomic is the one to pick it up. Oh, Atomic gets by Atomic. Now he's dribbling.
1v1.
Pop, but Chicago is there again. A superb backline for Chicago. Now Mark trying to force it off, but Atomic, second man, was expecting the 50 to come out. Dorito has to come back in, and Atomic handles the entire G1 rotation himself. But it's still difficult for G2 to really get by the third even.
And they're getting demoed. Atomic takes him out, steals the boost. G2 under pressure.
Atomic had to use his whole tank. JNABs has a lot to read here, but Atomic just rips one on target. Chicago gives up the ball. Dorito light. What? Atomic came across. Dorito trying to force it. Mark scores! Brilliantly designed by G1.
This is just beautiful. Dorito all the way back out to G1 Atomic, who's rotating back out of the net, and he still gets a touch. Keeps the motion, and that ball going forward. And we've got 2-1 for G1.
That's a nasty one. But at the end, G2 get the kickoff. JNAB just
No
let
way.
it rip. And that's a not even on target from Atomic. Chicago trying to give one more chance to G2, but there's Dorito to send it the whole way back. Good high touch. Good far
Do you believe,
touch.
Jorby? Do you
Chicago
believe?
off the ceiling, and Atomic's too far away. G1 have tied things up.
I was believing for a second, but what a performance. What a goal that we got to finish off game number 2. I can't get over that recovery. I mean, you're running out of the net, Jorby. Most players, you're just thinking about getting back, rotating to defense. That's your one job.
Yeah.
You don't even have to get a touch. It's not on him to get a touch in that situation to keep the play in motion, but he still finds a way. G1 Atomic, a miracle there, and we'll take another look at this.
The only thing I'm sad about, Turtle, is that Atomic will not be given in-game credit for that assist that he had. Because Dorito was the one who punched that before.
He's
coming out of the net, dude. It's,
That's unfair.
that's the kind of
simply
gameplay I love,
unfair.
man. Like you have, like that's the type of gameplay that, like, you need against G2.
Yeah.
You have to make plays like that. It's not, you're not gonna be able to just rotate willy-nilly, you know, next
Can't
man
wait
up
for
50-50.
punishments, yeah.
No, you gotta cut, you gotta get bumps, you gotta be creative. So, love that kind of play. Now it's about G2. Ball's back in their court.
Yeah, can't wait for mistakes. And now the same thing can be said for G2. Can't just sit in the midfield and hope that there's some blatant gaps in the defense and cracks in the armor that you can push through in, because you've got an immediate goal from G1, a demo on the kickoff. Marked by 8 says, hey, Chicago, I'm going to get in front of you, sacrifice myself, and let G1 get the first goal.
What a team player, Marked by 8
Yeah,
is.
that's so selfless.
Yeah, you don't need to get the bump. You just gotta get in the way.
Throw yourself in front of it, sacrifice yourself, and things will work out. For G2, things are not working out for them in game number 3. It's been a slow start. And after game one, maybe they got too comfortable, too confident, thinking that mistakes were going to come out of G1, but they have turned things around. And we're seeing a bulletproof defense out of G1. And now on offense, they're getting involved, getting demos. Aggression is there. It's all connecting. What do G2 have as a response?
And Chicago deleted. JNAPS, he's been really annoying on the blindside challenges. Even, especially in game one. He was the driving force behind stopping a lot of those G1 transitions.
Yeah.
Coming back, just stopping the ball a little bit, forcing G1 to rethink their rotation. So close. There's a couple passes where they almost connect like that, but G1 are in every one of those contests.
And you see where Chicago was looking to cherry pick her. You saw the space where he wanted to infiltrate, but like you said, G1 had it read, know exactly where they're feeding this ball. Positioning on another level. Mark by 8 is up early, and he bumps JNAPS away from the ball, which doesn't seem that impactful, but that prevents JNAPS from getting any kind of dunk.
I mean, Dorito also got a bump on the back line when he started that whole push.
Yeah.
They're really trying to...
Physical game?
Yeah, cut down G2's defense, not just through the bumps, but also getting those boost steals on top of it. Hasn't been so effective, though. The boost totals for G2, they swing back around. It's a really tight rotation for them on offense. Atomic, first in the air, trying to control it, maybe force a bad touch, but the other Atomic gets there. And now Dorito just punches it, forces Chicago in defense. It's a good catch. Kill to the corner from Chicago.
We're going to talk about the physical play. Wait, hold on a second. Flip reset opportunity. JNAPS hit the brakes. He tried to pull out a mind game. Attempted to slow things down and maybe catch G1 flying past behind the ball, but it didn't work.
There were layers to that, though, because Atomic, he knew that he was going to get dunked, depending on how he touched that ball, so he had to put his car on the near side of the ball, in the middle of the net to put it out to the corner, and then also have the follow-up right after that. All three players needed to make a save, and Atomic gets the next one as all of G1 were running back.
They're going to recover, get their own boost, but the net was open for a second. Chicago, no angle to approach quite yet. G2 Esports slowly building up towards this first goal, towards a response. And all of that momentum could have been crushed with the flip reset, but denied quick by G2. And into the corner we go. No more demos, no more physical plays too much from G1 because they've been out of boost. You'll see Mark by 8 right now running out. 0 to his name, 0 to Chicago's name as well. But G1 Atomic got him covered with this clear.
Mark a little happy to go for that ball. Quick on his trigger finger, going for that follow-up challenge. G1 retaining possession, but last man Atomic was a little far back. JNAPS had some issues catching the ball. That may stop them, but JNAPS gets back to the 50.
It's a good bounce.
It's cut off though. Mark by 8 rips it, and it's a goal! G2 down by 2.
And I saw Dorito in the backfield. I'm not sure if he ended up getting in front of a player, but he takes the corner boost, and he sees Chicago.
I think that was enough.
Who had to have dodged him. I mean, just the presence of Dorito alone there for Chicago is enough to make you slightly off your rotation, miss the save, can't get a proper touch. 2-0 for G1.
Probably feeling breathing down his neck too.
Yeah. And that's been the whole game.
Right.
That's been the whole series.
And Dorito's played like that disruptor role so well in this game.
And even in Europe, I mean, Mark by 8 and Dorito both in the top 10 for demos per game out of Europe. They know that they have that utility, that strategy to get involved and can utilize it whenever they want to. Another demo has opened up things, but Dorito has no angle. Mark by 8 says, I'm not going to go for that. Let's play the safe route and just wait. And patience is going to be rewarded as it's given right away to G1.
But again, good presence of mind by G2 on defense. As G1 kick up the aggression just a little bit. Chicago forced back. Atomic able to get a productive touchdown field. JNAPS sitting the whole way in the opposite corner. Feeling the time strain. Now he's trying to get the 50. Bumps Atomic, but it's right into Dorito. Another one. They just can't connect on these passes. G2 just a little broken. G1's defense has been excellent. Reading those lanes, hopping in front of them. Atomic in Chicago.
Wow.
It's just a constant bump fest. It is so physical. It's like a brutal hockey game. Waiting for someone to drop the wheels and start fighting here soon.
And while we've seen a lot of physicality from G1, I haven't noticed it's ruining their rotations. They're getting bumps, and they're also putting themselves in the space where they know G2 are trying to infiltrate and trying to put themselves in. They're reading the play, finding predictions, knowing exactly how G2 want to maneuver downfield, and that's created a much easier game 3 that they can take lead of.
There's been some tight defensive stands for G1 too, because, I mean, for G1. I mean, G2, yeah, it's fun.
That's the first time where I'm just like,
yeah,
man,
you know what? We made
he's
it this
going
far
this-
without messing it up.
I see your brain just like trying to make the connection.
G1, 2, like, wait. But no, what I'm saying is like G2, they get so aggressive in the way they rotate on offense. You see all 3 players really tight together so they can respond to things really quickly. And I'm I don't know what it is about plays like that. It just takes so much poise on defense, man.
And I think that goal where Chicago was able to actually get a touch on the save represents where that mentality is right now. I mean, he should have gotten the save, but he was feeling the pressure. He panicked a little bit, hit the backflip, and unfortunately couldn't get the touch. And like I said, that shows just how much pressure is being thrown at the G2 defense. And they've got to recover. They've got to get their nerves under control because things are getting a little bit out of their hands.
Remember that one transition near the end of the game, JNABs had a breakaway. Couldn't quite get the catch, he had to stop. And that was like one time they were able to find a hole through G1 on game 3, but G1 now in position to win their group. Because if G1 win, Crew are eliminated and G1 get it. So this is for the group win. This is for top 8 for G1.
Mark by 8 had to get that goal line save. Good start in game number 4. And they have shown so many signs of consistency throughout the entire series. If you remember back just earlier today, G1 took down FaZe and almost got reverse swept. They started out the first 2 games strong, but nearly gave it away, closed it out in game 5, and they're looking to avoid game 5 altogether against G2.
Good control from Mark. G2 all tied up, Atomic a light touch, and light is all he needs. First goal to G1.
All tied up indeed, bunched up on defense. JNABs, Chicago, and Atomic all unsure of who's gonna go for the challenge. You saw JNABs hovering, hesitating on the backboard, not sure when to challenge. That just gave away too much space, too much opportunities to G1, who are quickly going to take advantage of it. 4 minutes on the clock, 1-0 already. G2 Esports yet to find an answer. What is the kryptonite that will take down G1, or at least give them a shot, and hopefully a game 5?
Again, an aggressive challenge from Atomic, cutting off the pass. This one gets away from them though, and oh wow. I think Chicago was expecting the follow-up there, but the ball bounced. Didn't quite have the read, but another pass, another shot saved right under the bar from Atomic. And he tips it away. Chicago is playing on the wall. Atomic gets a perfect touch out towards the middle of the field. It just makes G2 have to work that much harder for every touch. Here they get a nice 50 from Atomic. JNABs over the bar, and Atomic perfectly seals it to the corner.
That's another shot from JNABs where it's going slightly high. I saw that pre-jump shot earlier, going off the crossbar. And then another attempt at the net. Not going his way, accuracy slightly off. Waiting for better execution out of G2, but the plays are developing more. Ideas are coming in, and that's definitely a good sign.
Quick push here from Dorito. 50 leaves them flat. Mark actually made that shot real difficult for G2, but Atomic, no problem for him. Weaves around one and he gets chipped out by Atomic.
Wow.
And G1 get the ball back.
Atomic's rotating back, pushes him out the way, bullies him, in fact, out of the rotation. And then now another wide open shot. Chances created through chaos. G1 making G2's defense look silly.
But it's calculated chaos. They force another double commit. They force that pressure and they open up the seam. And Mark by 8, Atomic continue to score these goals. Dorito continues to be the facilitator for this team. You know, teammates had said it on the desk. G1 really only lost to quality teams over the course of the winter split. Now they make it to land. And Mark, Dorito, and Atomic, oh, he misses off the post, a 3rd goal. I mean, even with half the game left, surely you're just talking about G1 not throwing. Atomic denied by Dorito again. G2, they need something, but the offense is in a drought.
I mean, how can you respond on this field when you're getting bullied out of it? Chicago, a slower shot is what breaks through the defense.
Chicago threats the reset. And you see Atomic, he's sizing it up. He jumps early, reading it, but Chicago only gives it a little nice top. right into the net.
Oh, that's lovely. You love to see a change of pace like that, where the defense thrown for a whirl. They're expecting something else. They're expecting a much better shot, and it's a quick little love tap from Chicago that's just going to get the job done.
For a while, it was a bulletproof backline for G1. G2 have found a mark with some of their shots. Now it's about getting the tie. Dorito lets it go, and Chicago ties things up.
A huge mistake from G1 up in the air. You've got Dorito, you got to get a touch, a better read. Didn't expect the early ceiling bounce potentially, and that one gets away from him. G2, we're about to count them out, but they're back in it.
Feels like a whole new ball game now. Oops. Hang on.
What is
Jay
going
Naps
on?
taking this one.
What
oh
is
my
happening?
God. What in the world is this? Okay, Noah scores off of that. So it's okay.
I kind of wanted to see it again, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it would be fun to see it. We're going to run that one back. Let's see what happens. Mark going to kill it out to the corner, maybe trying to give Dorito a setup. He'll rotate back out. G1 still their laurels for a little while. Now look at him playing close. Atomic. Just the threat of him being there made G1 hesitate. And oh, a tough save for Mark by 8. No one from G2's around though. Now Atomic gets the breakout. Here he comes, another tap. Trying to get the dunk, but Chicago gets there in time.
That was a scary sight. We almost saw a goal line save into an immediate counterattack, but Chicago bullying back, fighting fire with fire. Takes out the defender, hopeful to open up some space, but unfortunately G1 still got their teammates covered, and it's G1 Atomic all by himself.
Atomic, the aerial ace. Look at him read around this ball. Pretty on the boost.
That's unfair.
And he just boosts through. He gets behind the ball, then holds down the boost button to ensure he wins that 50-50. Atomic putting the team on his back for that goal. 53 seconds to go. If they hold this lead, G1 win their group. They get top 8.
If they hold the lead, Jorby, this has been one hectic game. Who knows what's going to happen with 50-50s like that. Somebody just has to be downfield. There is a player passed out to the midfield. Chicago responds.
Safer option for J-Naps on this pass. It's going to be tough to try to put that one on target, but you knew that everyone was rotating back. You know you can safely put that pass out with all of G1 still behind you. Excellent setup from J-Naps.
This game just as unpredictable as the series. You don't know which way a 50-50 is going to go. Can you imagine how the players are approaching this one? Atomic was looking for some kind of pinch on the sidewall. Here comes Dorito, mid-air bump, he got the connection. And now Atomic from G1 should have an opportunity, but it's a weak shot. And G2 casually carry this ball out.
Ending in regulation, G2 waking it up. Atomic can't get in the way. And Mark, the transition back to Dorito. Atomic coming back behind Chicago, and Chicago cleans things up. They go with a full tank of boost. Atomic throws himself into the fire. Chicago with the fake, and the pass out. Mark stays in the way. Atomic trying to prevent the transition. We go to OT.
Mark saving G1 there. He had that red. Even with the fake, the little hesitation, the sidestep from Chicago. Didn't catch Mark off, and then a miss on the backboard. G2, 6 seconds in OT, finish it.
Oh, that is a massive gap from Dorito. He just missed the read. Mark tried to make up for it, and he was close, but couldn't get back in time. And just like that, G2 steals again.
You can't believe it either. I think Staffy looked a little bit amazed as well. And that was the second huge mistake. We also saw Dorito whiff from the ceiling bounce where he didn't get the proper read and just gave it away. Another one coming out on the side of G1. Maybe it's the nerves, maybe it's the fact that they just want to play game 5s all day long.
Dorito been at the bottom of the scoreboard each game. And while that doesn't always matter over the course of a couple of games,
there it is.
It may start coming to bite you. You know, talking with Stumpy a little bit earlier, we were talking about how, you know, G1, they might get that winner's tilt, where you get a lead in the series, it starts to become real. You're like, oh, we can win this. Like the same thing against FaZe happened. Then FaZe win the back 2 games, they force game 5. You have the lead in this game. You have a chance to close it out, and 2 whiffs end up putting you back. But if you're Dorito and if you're his team, you gotta be talking up your guy.
You
gotta keep that mental right.
The mental game right. Absolutely, the vibes have to be there for G1 as we head into game number 5, Champions Field on your screens. And the question is, you know, how is Dorito's mental game? Is he feeling the pressure now, especially after those mistakes certainly wants to redeem himself, but you've got, thankfully, a whole another 5 minutes to do so.
Let's see how this develops. Chicago, nice little pop. Rest of G2, a little slow to catch up. Chicago's bought them some time. Nothing really working there for G1. Dorito tried to pop that up. Another aggressive challenge for both Atomic and Mark. And Dorito will find the first goal. That's how you reestablish confidence.
Redemption for Dorito. He's getting this ceiling read all day long. Got it covered and has it under control. Top right corner sniped out. And it's a good setup, good finish. G1 on the board first.
Chicago flipping off that ball. It did have some speed to it. It definitely looked savable from Chicago. But now here comes Atomic. Full field clear, won't get him a goal. Now Dorito winning a bunch of 50s around the corner. How does he make that work? Another aggressive challenge from Atomic. It does stint G2 out, and he just won't leave the play. That's gotta be so annoying if you're Chicago, where your corner's supposed to be a net of safety, right? But nothing is safe in front of the box. A high one, Chicago's forced to dive back. He doesn't have a lot left in the tank either. Can they push the G1 and find that second goal? They're really trying to press a Mark beyond the midfield line. Buys time for Dorito, but it just skips right by him, and JNavs had to avoid Atomic. Atomic sent it right back down for Chicago, and what a save off the post! Shot goes in, JNavs weaves his way through the defense.
Off the post and out, you thought maybe there was a chance G1 could recover just with that unfortunate hit. But of course, you've got the final striker, JNavs, the third man crashing through, and he's got all of their backs. Everything covered. 3:36 on the clock, all tied up. And maybe another one for Atomic as he's looking for the dunk. Got the read involved too, but can't get the accuracy. G2, credit where credit is due. They've been able to respond quickly to a lot of G1.
It's what's made them so difficult to play against in majors past. They were so good at adapting, so good at just resetting the mental game.
Yep. It doesn't matter what happens before, they get back into it immediately.
Exactly. We've heard them talk about it so many times, about just, you know, resetting the mental every time. They're one of the most resilient mental teams here. Things are deadlocked right now. Another chance here for Chicago. Downfield, JNavs denied. Dorito got the save. Mark on the transition, but saw Dorito. He saw the pass was cut off, didn't want to go. G1, they're not all aggression. Definitely have a lot of thought.
Yeah.
Their second, third man positions, making sure they're not taking themselves out any play. JNavs trying to kill the ball to the corner. Dorito protects his boost. G1 get out.
Well, every single rotation from G1 is just so valuable. It doesn't matter if you're rotating out. I mean, we've seen what Atomic can do when he's rotating out of the net. He can get a touch, he can get a pass in, and keep the ball forward. But JNavs had the dunk, the air dribble from his own end, but we're back down the other side quickly. Chicago has to recover. Does in time.
Wow.
And there is no time to breathe whatsoever. A millisecond is all it takes to get back down the other end, Jorby.
Atomic kills it to the corner. And the other Atomic pushes it downfield. Or tried to anyway, he got cut off. Ooh, that'd have been cheeky, wouldn't it?
We've seen a lot of pre-jumps from G2, especially JNavs. I don't know what they're feeding the boomer over there on G2, but he's been up early.
Yeah, I really need that to be a goal explosion. After seeing it on the video, Boomer behind JNavs,
Yeah.
that's really just be a goal explosion. And only JNavs can have it. Three-man passing play on defense, and it only takes one G1 player marked by 8 to cut him out. G2 will still get it clear. And time to set this up. This one feels tense, doesn't it?
Right. Well, we were also talking about the mental of Dorito, the fact that he was able to get involved so early on and be the reason why they scored that first goal. I don't think there's any doubts about whether or not he's feeling confident in this game. Game 5 alone at least. JNavs, nice response, and he's got the full boost to work with. This is G2 looking to set up some form of possession for as long as possible. Time is running out.
G1 trying to size this up on defense. The rest of G2 are back. Here comes Atomic, marked by 8 downfield. G2 preventing the touches. All he can do is kill it to the corner. Dorito playing safe, and he got burned! Atomic goes nuclear! G2 take the lead!
And it's a pre-flip. Look at G2. Atomic pre-flips into this shot. Outpaces Dorito and gets the early look at the net. 55 on the clock, 2-1. Atomic does it looking absolutely beautiful.
Both games that G2 have won have been in overtime. G1 have not had to respond in regulation to tie the game. This time, they have to make it work with 40 seconds left. The group win is on the line. They may not actually know that yet. They started this game while Crew versus FaZe was still going on.
That finished during this series.
Their high touch. Atomic got the catch off the ceiling. Underneath when Atomic falls onto it. Mark gets a high pop off the corner. Another one for Dorito off the ceiling. A lot of pressure for G1, but the ball gets cleared away again. And G2, hang on. They need to stop. One more push, maybe two. Atomic, nice little shade on the 50. Dorito, last chance. Here he goes. He wants to control it, but Atomic gets there. And the defense holds firm, but hang on. A last second crack. Dorito denied. Atomic, he lost the ball. G2 survive. G1 win the game. Still alive for the top of the group.
It went down to the last second. Look at the hype. That's got to feel good, especially with all the momentum that G1 were building earlier on in that series. There was a point where we could have seen it quickly done with and having G1 walk away with the series win. They had to recover quickly, and G2 did battle back and respond, and a painful loss at that, but what a job well done for G2. And we talked about at the end of this series, they have been known for resetting. If the previous game didn't go their way, it doesn't matter. They can reset, things go back to 0-0, forget about the past, and move forward. G2, that's their veteran experience coming out.
Now it comes down to